Hello and welcome back to the third rail. We have a new addition to the collection this week. I just received this little Belgian class 25 and I thought we should have a first look at it together. As usual with the new editions format, we'll cover a few basics and a bit of history to put the locomotive in context. We'll then have a closer look at the model and we'll end the video with a quick run on the layout this week. Before we set off, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe and alert button before leaving today. Super thanks are also available if you feel the content deserves it. Whatever the option you choose will be much appreciated. Many thanks! Now, on to our topic, starting with a model overview. This is a Märklin product, of course. It is model number 3316, representing a Series 25 of the SNCB, the Belgian National Railway Company. The model is a so-called export model, as the name implies, a category of products made primarily for international markets. These models were produced in limited quantities, usually sold exclusively in a single country or region for the first year, then made available worldwide. 3316 was released in 1987 in the Benelux export brochure. It was the star of the show that year as it made the cover, and it was even given a spot at the very beginning of the catalogue. The next year, in 1988, the model was made available worldwide for its second and last year of production. It could be ordered from the General Export brochure. The model is a simple livery change on an existing model. I'll cover this later on in the video. Time for a few vital statistics. The model measures 26.9 centimeters buffer to buffer. It is predominantly a metal construction with a zinc die-cast chassis and boiler. The cab and tender body are made of plastic. In terms of propulsion, we have an electronic reversing unit located in the tender, controlling a 3-pole motor in the cab, its self-driving 5 axles fitted with 4 traction tires. The model is equipped with lights at the front. I can't remember if they are directional. As was common on Märklin steam engines at the time, we have a hook coupling at the front and a relax coupling on the tender for use with remote uncoupling tracks. All right, let's proceed with a quick overview of the prototype for context. As mentioned previously, the model represents a Class 25 of the SNCB, the Belgian National Railway Company. The class might already look familiar to most of you as it is a German BR-50. Like in many other countries invaded by Germany in World War II, entire industry segments were either integrated or co-opted into the occupiers' war effort. This applied to all heavy industries, including locomotive manufacturers. These manufacturers switched production to German standard locomotives, mainly BR-50s and BR-44s. Then, after 1942, progressively to so-called Kriegslokomotiven or war locomotives that were simplified versions of existing engines. The BR-50 UK, then BR-52, or the BR-44 UK. Belgium received 2 orders. The first one was for 200 BR-50 UK, which was completed in wartime. A second order for 100 BR-52s was still in production at the time of the liberation. At the end of the war, 24 BR-50 UK 14 of which had been made in Belgium, and 1 BR-44 were still positioned on the Belgian network. These were transferred immediately to the SNCB. These were classed as Type 25. Germany subsequently returned another 150 BR-50 UK. These were immediately scrapped with the exception of a dozen or so units sold to the DSB in Denmark. The SNCB made the decision to purchase the 100 BR-52 still under construction. These entered service as Class 26. The Type 25 was almost exclusively allocated to freight and remained in service until 1959. This relatively short service life is due to the arrival of the Type 29, ordered in large quantity by the SNCB. This completes the model overview. As usual, you'll find photo credits and links to the sources used for this overview in the video description. Now, let's have a look at my 3316. And there we are. The model comes all the way from a shop in Italy I had never used before. The model was described as near new condition, so let's see what I got for my money. We have a white box for the correct reference. It has a few storage marks here and there, but nothing out of the ordinary. So far, so good. Let's have a look inside. The plastic tray still looks transparent, but we can already see that the cab windows on the model have yellowed, which is a bit of a shame. Right, let's get everything out of the box. We have the original instructions with a bit of history on the model, which was still a new thing at the time of release. And the tray, aside from being transparent, is also intact. That is excellent. Right, let me put the model on a presentation rail and we'll have a closer look. And look at this beauty. It does look very good. The only immediately obvious imperfections are the yellowed windows, which is a common problem on models from the late 1980s using this tooling. I was hoping this wouldn't be like that, to be honest. The seller had several units in stock, but the listing pictures only showed one of the models. Despite thinking about it, I didn't check with the seller and pressed the Add to Cart button, so it is my fault. I'll do better next time. Elsewhere, everything is in excellent condition on that side. The added-on details are all there. The paint is intact and in good shape. No scratch. The inscriptions are also intact, both on the cab and the tender. Lovely condition. The side and back of the tender look great. We can see that we have fake lights. The ladder on the left hasn't suffered any damage. Same condition on the other side. We have yellowed windows here too. Otherwise, nothing to whinge about. And we've reached the front. We can see that lights and arches are intact. The prominent number in this gorgeous font used by the SNCB has withstood the test of time. Excellent! Well, that's all not bad at all. Shame about the windows. All right, time to move to the bench. And there we are. We have two other BR-50s out. On the right, we have 3084, for which the tooling was first developed. The model was released in 1974. We can see that the boilers are identical. There is one more side window on the cab. Now I'm sure you are familiar with this model. And on the left, we have 3315, released the same year as the 3316 in the standard program. Both models are technically identical apart from the leading wheels, with the BR50 UK modifications on the cab and the top tender. They even present the same issue with yellowed windows. Now, I doubt the tender was itself a new development, as Märklin had released a P8 with this type of tender in the 1960s. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they simply reused what they had. And there's nothing wrong with that if the tooling is up to the task. The 3084 tooling remained the basis for many models released by Märklin well into the 21st century. They really got their money's worth out of it. Some of them feature in a few videos on the channel. I have put a link at the top if you're interested. Okay, let's see if our model runs. And we have motion. The reversing unit is operational. And the headlights work. Let's see if they switch off when I reverse. There we go, we clarified that point, they're always on. Let's check the chassis. We can see it is articulated. It's a compromise made to allow the model to operate on tight curves. The axles feel free. I'll check the tires quickly. Yes, they're all loose. So all this model needs, by the looks of it, is a bit of lubrication and a change of tires. For this, I will need to get inside. So it's time to get the tools out. Right, with this tooling, the body of the locomotive is held by two screws that double as pivot points for the articulated chassis. And with them loosened, the body simply lifts off. Now, this revealed the upper side of the chassis and a typical layout in terms of components, with the motor at one end, which is a 3-pole drum collector motor, and the lighting at the front. We have a small problem here with the upper cylinder rod assembly. It is bent and this will need fixing. All 5 axles are driven with interlocking gears. We start at the back of the motor, then we have a jack shaft with gears in between the second and third axles that transmits the power to the other side for the remaining wheels. So it's quite clever. The reversing unit is in the tender, so we're going to open it for science. I think the body is fastened by the bogie screws. Yes, there we go. And we find a full electronic reversing unit with a miniature relay. This was a very recent thing in 1987. I think the first models equipped with this came out in 1986 or so. Okay, so I'll fix the rod assembly first. I just hope it isn't a symptom for something else. So I'll remove the screw in the chassis. Then I'll straighten things back as best as I can with a pair of pliers. Then reattach it. I'll remove the motor so I can turn the wheels manually with no or little pressure and check the valve gear is not sticking. So the motor and the housing are in good shape. Let's try and turn these wheels now. Okay, we are fine. Good, we haven't got any wheels out of quarter. Excellent. Right, I'll do a quick service and put things back together. All right, all done. The locomotive needs running in. Let's talk about rolling stock while this is happening. I couldn't find any pictures, so we will have to proceed by deduction. The locomotive was in service at the SNCB between war end and 1959. Most of that time was spent hauling freight in the southeast of Belgium, not far from the French border. The only international rail connection close by was with Luxembourg. I think the main industry in the area was and still is paper and card production. This should give us an idea of the type of stock we'd need to find. And unfortunately, there isn't anything matching in the Märklin catalogues of the 1980s, as most of the Belgian stock available was post-1960. Other model railway companies didn't fare much better at the time. So, I will have to improvise with what I have in the collection. The closest we could use is the 4656. It's a 1000 G1 wagon. It was re-released by Märklin in the late 1980s. I have quite a few of these in the collection, so let me set this up. One moment, please. All right, I have taken the entire contingent of 4656s out. The first four are the earliest version from the 1960s. The following ones are from 1985, and the very last one in the consist is the final version. I think it's from 1987 or 88. Our loco has finished its run and is waiting further up. There is one final thing I'm going to do, which is to install a smoke generator. I have a brand new Zoiter 10 I am going to simply push into the chimney. There we go. I'll inject a bit of smoke fluid and I'll give a quick pulse of current to check it works. Yep. All right, let's go and get these wagons. It looks like a 65-year-old coupling is not cooperating. Human intervention required. Okay, we are all set. Let's get on our way. And we are off. We'll stay on the outer loop at first. The speed is a bit high, but we need to make some smoke, and it's quite a heavy train. I'm going to let the models do the toking for a couple of minutes and rejoin on the other side. Enjoy the racket! right, that wasn't a bad performance, was it? This is not surprising with this tooling, but nice nevertheless. Aside from the windows, we had a rather smooth landing with this model. It was also the last SNCB item I needed to complete the Belgian part of the collection, so its arrival is also a mini milestone. Let me know if you would like to see a Belgian-themed running session, and if there's enough demand, then I will set this up. That was it for today. If you have made it that far, thanks very much for spending so much of your valuable time with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please let others know with a little thumbs up, a comment, or even a subscription. Thanks so much for all your support. Until next time, bye for now.